Peace, love and blessings, family. What's going on? This is your brother Key coming at you with some live and direct love. And welcome to my podcast workshop. So I just want to greet you. I thank you for, stepping in and actually taking the time out to listen to this podcast. Today, I'm going to just jump right into it. We're going to be talking about trauma, okay? And I have a little speech prepared for you guys. And I want you to listen close to the details of what I'm about to say. And actually, before any of that, I want to make sure that everybody listening understands why I deem myself qualified to talk about trauma. Trauma can occur on three major levels. The most common is known as physical trauma. Then you have spiritual trauma and you have emotional trauma. I have gone through a very deep level of trauma on each of these. I have gone through in the physical realm. I've broken many bones. I've been, disabled before in my life to the point where I couldn't walk. And I got therapy and I willed myself into being a physical, strong specimen that I am today. Spiritually, I have gone through some very tough times. I've fought through the trenches. I've been to very dark places. And now I am more enlightened. All praise due to the Most High. Thank you, God, for bringing me here, because where I was spiritually, it wasn't the best. I used to actually be a very troubled spirit. And mentally, um, it's kind of on the same verge as spiritually, but your mental has to do with just how you think in life. And I went through a lot of mental trauma with my family, friends, and just life just beating me down. And I've learned to gain and build mental fortitude. And I teach people on how to get out of negative situations. I teach them on how to break through their limits and how to become stronger physically. And I also teach them the best way to get closer to God. So that is covering all three areas. You dig what I'm saying? You could check me out. If you want to, you could Google my name, Keyshawn Forsyth, Kishon, last name Forsyth, and I will pop up and you will see my resume. So moving on, we're going to talk about trauma today. All right, so I hope you guys are ready. Trauma. What is it? Trauma. Trauma, which is a noun. A deeply disturbing experience, which is usually associated with emotional shock followed by a stressful event. In modern medicine, this is more commonly known as a physical injury. Throughout this speech and throughout just this description of trauma, I will do my best to educate you on what trauma is, how it affects the mind, body, and soul. Hopefully, after you hear my testimonial with trauma, it will birth inside of you the strength and willpower to get over your own traumatizing events. I hope you're ready. What comes to mind when you hear the word trauma or traumatized? Do you cringe and have flashbacks of your past with a little chill? Do you smile and get a warm, happy feeling? Most likely, it's not the second one. No one is happy with their own traumas. When I thought of this word trauma, memories and flashbacks, they used to occur. It may not get cold in the room, but I certainly used to get a chill in my body. trauma. When I think of this word, I cannot honestly think of one experience or bad time, but I do get a cold, lonely feeling that I tend to keep secret because of multiple experiences that happened in the past. I think it's safe to say when we share that feeling, you know, it's it's just something that everybody truly has in common. Some days we forget about our traumas, and other times we can't get away from that feeling or that those memories no matter what we do or where we go. Sometimes I feel as if other people know my secrets and I can't hide them. Nothing is worse than a secret, traumatizing experience that everyone knows about. Or is it that you just think that they know about it simply because it has been that traumatizing to you? I don't want to get too deep on y'all, but if I have the chance to shed some light in a place that you need inside of your mind, body, and soul, I will be that guy because we all need it at some point in time. Here are some symptoms of trauma to let you know that you've gone through this or if you are currently suffering trauma: shock, denial, difficulty concentrating, anger problems, mood swings, anxiety, you have guilt, you're constantly blaming yourself, you're withdrawing from others, perhaps family and friends, and most common, the feeling of being numb, emotionally numb, or at least trying to be. These are all symptoms of trauma. See, my personal experience with trauma is, I have a lot. But one of the most traumatizing moments in my life, happened a few years ago. I went through a life-changing experience in 2015 that left me in pieces for a few years because before I could think about getting myself back together, hypothetically and literally speaking, I was involved in a car accident the day after my birthday. And, it almost claimed my life, but it did claim the life of two of my friends and it left me in critical condition. This experience was beyond normal comprehension. In fact, it is beyond normal comprehension. I can tell you now that if you asked me my physical injuries, you wouldn't be able to guess half of them, maybe two. And that being said, the pain was tougher to accept, but it's necessary when you want to win victory over your trauma. My moment of realization, I want you guys to remember that moment of realization. Even though this experience settled in my mind, I didn't realize how traumatized I was until I lost a friend who survived with me. And I separated from the girl that I was supposed to get married with. Well, married to, I mean. And and I thought she was gonna be my wife. And I lost one of the closest friends of mine that survived my terrible accident with me. But that's crappy luck. And trauma attacks when you feel like you're down, for real. So I decided, you know what? I won't let trauma and this crappy feeling of depression just break me. I made a mental, spiritual, and physical decision to commit to myself. And I would use every atom, every piece of trauma within me to make something great and make it work for me. At first, it wasn't easy because everyone thought I was crazy the way I used to talk. And, I mean, I used to think that before, but it was different now. I kept it pushing. And this time, I kept going on. I opened up more. I shared my experiences, and I had the joy of learning that I'm not alone when it comes to trauma. I found that people were motivated and understood my journey. They themselves were motivated after listening to me to get past their own trauma and make a better life for themselves. It's possible. It truly is. My life took a dramatic turn for the better. I started taking my fitness life more seriously. I didn't beat myself up when I made mistakes. And most importantly, I became truly thankful for being alive and actually living. It's one thing to wake up and go about your regular routine every day. But when you actually give thanks to the Almighty and believe in yourself, you awaken a light inside, a deep, happy feeling. You look in the mirror and you love what you see, pain and all. In conclusion, it's never over if you truly believe in yourself. You can beat all those demons, get past all the pain, the tears, all those skeletons just turn to dust and they crumble in your closet. We all have them, so don't feel alone. Just smile and embrace the feeling of being happy. You will see better days. Remember that trauma can only destroy you if you allow it to. It's like being locked and chained to a boulder that has you stuck. And everywhere you search for the key, you swear you can't find it. But little did you know that the key to your release is right near the things that you need most: self-love, self-acceptance, happiness, true happiness, and forgiveness. Failure does not seem so bad when you get past your trauma and you just worry about succeeding. Shift your mind and say goodbye to trauma. Now, I can honestly say that it's easier said than done, because it doesn't take a day and it doesn't take a week and it doesn't take just a month. If you've gone through years of trauma, it may take you years to get past it. Sometimes half the time and sometimes double. But you have to be willing to truly, truly, truly get past that trauma. And I want you guys to just really, really ask yourselves, what is this trauma? What is it? How can you get past it? And when you start to really ask yourself these questions, you will get past it. So, this is part one. I will be back next week with actually this was the intro. I will be back with part one to the series on the questions that you need to ask yourself to see if you really have trauma, because those definitions that I gave, that's just the tip of the iceberg. But you need to ask yourself specific questions in order to recover from the trauma. So I thank you for taking the time out and joining. And I hope that you will continue to tune in. This is your brother Key, always coming with that live and direct love. And I thank you for coming to my workshop. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share, like, all of that. Instagram, same thing. It's your brother Key. Stay blessed and less stressed.
Peace.